Hello, Toodle Noodles. Today we're going to talk about fluids. Fluids is just a fancy way of saying liquids. A fluid is a liquid. So next time you're thirsty and you want to sound super smart, say, Mom, I'm thirsty. What fluids do we have that I can drink? Some fluids I can think of you can drink are milk and orange juice and water. See if you can think of any other fluids that we drink. Very important to stay hydrated. And so, since we're talking about fluids, I'm going to introduce you to the goby fish. And thinking about drinking fluids, we're going to introduce the digestive system. And one major part of your digestive system is your teeth. I know you don't chew liquids, but this is what the inside of your teeth look like. Do you see these here? Those are the roots of your teeth. Just like plants have roots that anchor them in the soil, your teeth have roots that anchor them in your gums. Pretty cool, right? All right, let's get into it. All right, guys, let's talk about some properties of fluids. Fluids are just liquids, like water, milk, juice, just liquids. Now, have you ever played sink or float? When you play sink or float, you drop things into water and see, do they sink or do they float? And there are a few things that factor into that. One of those things is the amount of displacement, which is the amount of water that has to move aside for your boat to float. Okay? That is a change in volume, and volume is just the amount of liquid that you have. The surface tension can also play a factor, and we will look a little more closely at surface tension in a bit when we do our project. And buoyancy. Buoyancy is just the ability of something to float. It's how much water gets displaced based on the amount of weight of the thing you're trying to float. And we are going to make a solution and an emulsion. We're going to do that by mixing liquids together or by mixing a solid like sugar into our water. Okay? A mixture is just when you mix two things together. But a solution is when something completely dissolves in another thing. Dissolve. Means you can't see the separate parts anymore. Okay? And things that go into making a solution are the solute, which is the thing that dissolves, and the solvent, which is the thing you're dissolving it into. Easy peasy, right? Now, when we do this at CCBC, we make a huge mess and we have these lovely liquid watercolors and we get them all over the place. But I'm trying to do this in a controlled way in my house. So, we're going to see if this works. Ready? All right. I have here 3 containers. 1, 2, 3. This one's just in a dish in case it spills over. These two have very different volumes. So if I pour this one into this one, it doesn't fill it up. They have different volumes. Believe it or not, this one and this one, even though they're different shapes, have the same volume. Volume is just the amount of space that your liquid takes up. Now the first solution we are going to make is just mix up some watercolors. So I'm going to put a drop of red in here and a drop of blue in here. And I'm going to stir it up. stir it up. Little darling, stir it up. Little darling, stir it up. And look at that. Red and blue mixed into water made a purple solution. You guys know I love purple, right? Okay. So there's that. The next solution we are going to make is we are going to dissolve some sugar into some warm water. Ready? A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down. Medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down in a most delightful way. And I don't even have to really stir it much. But let's sing it anyway. Stir it up, little darling, stir it up. And you can't see the sugar anymore. It made a solution. We know it's in there, but it just looks like water. We made a sugar water solution. That has more density than regular water. So if I pour this in here, it should sink. But you can't really see it. Anyway, no big deal. In this one, we are going to make an emulsion. An emulsion is when you mix things up, but they don't really mix. I can make an emulsion with oil and water. And no matter how much I stir it, it might mix in a little bit, but the molecules are still separate. See, it doesn't mix. The water goes to the bottom because it has more density, and the oil floats on the top because it has less density. Now, let's see if we can test displacement. If I take two pieces of tin foil that are the same size, and crumple this one up really, really a lot, so it's super dense, I'm going to drop it in the water. Oh, sugar water, I told you, has a greater density. Look at that. We're learning as we go. This is just plain water. Okay. If I drop it in this plain water, I don't know if you can see, but it is touching the bottom of the dish. It's sunk. Now, if I take my handy dandy piece of tin foil like this, and I make it into a boat with a wide bottom, because we know boats float, even though metal is super dense, right? And I set it carefully on the top, it will float on top of the water, because the amount of water that is displaced by the wider bottom makes your boat float. Now, we are going to do a super fun project with displacement. You ready? Let's do it. Okay guys, now comes the fun part. Now we get to make a mess. Now, I'm hoping that I can demonstrate surface tension by putting drops. Oh, see, can you even see how that makes a drop and it stays together? In my classroom, this is a lot easier because kids can get down on all levels and see how the water doesn't spill over the side of the coin. It makes a dome on top. But I'm not sure that that is really doing a good job of showing it to you. Can you see how the water sits on top of the coin? You might want to retry that with your mom or your dad or a grown-up and see if you can make water sit on top of a coin. But we are going to make some messy art with displacement. You'll need some paints and some little lids. You're just going to put them on. I'm using watercolor paper. That's going to give me the best result because it's going to absorb the liquids, but if you don't have watercolor paper, you don't have to do it on watercolor paper. And then we're going to just try some different solutions and make them disperse on our paper. Use some different amounts of red. Maybe a bit of blue. Maybe another blue. If we had liquid watercolors, this would really be better. I borrowed one from school, but you really want to get a bunch of different colors, just like dripping over the sides. I have this watercolor medium. It's kind of like liquid watercolors. You're going to fill your containers or your little lids until they're pretty much full. So, let's see, which ones need a little more liquid? That one, and if you make a mess, doesn't matter because it's all going into your art. Now, we are going to drop things in to our containers, and you see how when something sinks into your container, it displaces the liquid and it spills all over your paper. I'm doing this in a tray so I don't make a huge mess. You might want to do the same because the whole point of this is that it's going to spill everywhere. There we go. I had to stir those solutions up. Get them to mix up better. I think that container has a hole in it. That's not doing me any favors. That's okay. All right. Let's try that again. See how that displaced just by putting my finger in it? I'm not even going to mess with that one. I'm going to add some more liquid till it's filled to the top. And drop in the balls to displace the liquid onto your paper. See, when you drop in the ball, how it makes the water spill all over the place? It displaces the liquid. When you put more liquid in, it pushes more liquid out. And then you just pick up your paper and you've got some fun, messy art. If I really wanted to, I could just pour this on here. That would really make some fun, messy art. And hey, if you're using marbles like I used, you can even roll them around on there and make some marble art. All right, guys, I hope that was fun for you and that gave you an idea of what displacement looks like. Are you ready to wrap this up? My Buster won't get out of my way, so I guess he's got to do the wrap up with us. I don't know. He just won't get out of the way. Go on, Buster. Go on. Okay, we talked about fluids, and we talked about different properties of fluids like buoyancy, displacement, density, volume. We made some mixtures. This is a kind of mixture called an emollient because you can mix it up, but it won't really mix. The molecules stay separate. And we made solutions where you can't see the separate bits anymore. Here comes Buster again. What are you doing, silly kitty? Okay, and we introduced our digestive system. And an important part of your digestive system is your teeth. This is what the inside of your teeth looks like. Those are the roots. And the animal of the week is the goby fish. The goby fish lives in the Chesapeake Bay and lays its eggs in oysters. And it has a suction cup on its bottom so that it sticks to the rocks at the bottom and it doesn't get washed away. Now, I hope that you did the project with me and checked out some surface tension and some displacement. Hands up if you made a mess and you have artist hands. Hands up, baby, hands up. Give me your heart, give me your heart, give me hands up. Baby, hands up, give me your heart, give me all your love, all your love. Oh, my silly kitty is drinking our sugar water solution. You guys, I gotta make him stop. I'll see you later. I love you. Bye.